23rd of December, Rabbi Levitt, Gemara.
Mhm.
1303. Yud Gimel.
Yud Gimel, 13A3, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so okay, we're right in the middle over here. So we'll just keep plodding along. Be'ez Hashem. What we get, and what we don't, so we don't. Okay. So the Gemara asked the question according to Shmuel. What does Shmuel gonna say over here? Mike Lemema, what is there to say according to Shmuel? So let's see what the Gemara answers to that question. Shmuel muke lemasdisen. This is found about 10 lines from the bottom of the page. The first word in the line is lo. Lamed Vav.
Lo mai ika?
Yeah. And the Gemara's answer starts with Shmuel. Shmuel muke lemasdisen.
Okay, 13A4, top of the page.
Got it? Okay, Roy.
Oh, Shmuel, okay. Sorry. Where's the? Here it is. Sorry about that. Shalom, okay. The Mahana Nisan.
So, okay, for little steps.
Okay.
That's it.
It's wet and it's sludgy. It's sludge.
Just a minute. I'm sorry, just a second. Sorry. Sorry, I want to check to see if my wife is not taking in the groceries by herself.
Okay.
If they come, sorry, I don't usually do this.
Okay, Beseder. So, Lou, you want to take over?
Okay. Shmuel can interpret our Mishnah by speaking about a case where the debtor does not admit.
Want the hand off? No, you know what, not now, because when we go again, yeah, I don't know if he's gonna go out.
Yahi, if so, ein bahen acharayus nechasim. And there's no reason for a lien on real property in the notes.
Okay.
There is no provision for a lien.
Sir.
So if the debtor does not admit and there's no provision for a lien, Amai Yachazir, why should he return them?
Why should we return them to the lender?
Right.
the borrower has not admitted that the loan has not been paid. So we don't know whether it has or has not. Maybe um, uh, it could be that he's even claiming that he paid it. And so if so, then if there's no, so he's claiming that he paid it, and so if there's no if that's so, in the case where there's no clause that provides for the guy to take the property of the guy that sold, that bought the field from the borrower, so Amayaksir, why should we give it back to the lender? That's the Gemara's question.
I don't know what's the time now.
Okay.
The lo gabe mean mean misab b'day. Granted that the creditor cannot collect from encumbered property.
Oh, it's okay. We have time, right?
Mibnei array mibnei gave. But from unencumbered property, he can collect.
Right. So why, in other words, the Mishnah says in this case that the Mishnah says as long as there's no clause that provides that he can collect encumbered property, so provided there's no such clause like that, so we don't have, the Mishnah says we don't have any problem giving this note that was found in the street back to the lender. So Gemara asks, why should that be? Granted, since he doesn't have that provision to be able to collect from the buyer of property that was encumbered at the time of the loan, but still, he's got the right. If we're going to give it the star back to him, he's got the right to collect from property that belongs to the borrower himself, and the borrower himself has denied that he still has to pay it. He's even said that he has paid it. So why should we give it back to him? Okay, so that's the Gemara's question according to Shmuel, because we said that Shmuel is going to establish that the Mishnah is talking about the case where the she'ein chayav moda, where the borrower is not admitting that he still owes. In fact, he's saying that he doesn't owe. Okay, so that's the Gemara's question. So, do we have any Rashi? Yes, the last Rashi on the page. Shmuel muki lo k'she'ein chayav modet.
Shmuel muki lo k'she'ein chayav modet. Let's see. Shmuel can interpret our Mishnah where the debtor does not admit. Bechesifat Hashtar Sheomer Love Lo Kisivti.
Oh boy.
So Kisivti is to write. I didn't write it.
Lo Katavti, I didn't write this document that
Kitavti.
this guy is pulling out in Besdin over here. So Rashi's explaining what does the Gemara mean when the Gemara says that the chayiv is kashe'ein chayiv moda. When this person we're calling the chayiv, he's not moda. What is he not moda to? Says Rashi, he's not moda b'ksiva sashtar. He's not even moda to the fact that there was a loan document that was written up.
I never saw this document before.
Yeah, and look what Rashi says after that. Umezuyafu. He says it's a forgery. Wow.
Ve'im Tomar, and if you will say, Yiskayim bechut min
V'chosamav.
bechosamav. What's that?
Let him establish the authenticity of the signatures. Let the Malva, this document presumably has signatures of witnesses who claim that the star is a valid star, right? That's what the witnesses do. So Rashi's saying, if you'll ask, well, why doesn't the guy go get people that can say, yeah, that's his signature, yeah, that's his signature.
Well, what does that help? If the Lova is denying that the document was written, so obviously there's a document there, so it was written. But what he's saying is, I didn't write it, or it wasn't written in my presence, or it wasn't written with my knowledge. So if you verify that the signatures are proper signatures, so what? He still could say it wasn't written in my knowledge. Wasn't written.
Okay, but now let's analyze, what does it mean that we're going to authenticate the validity of the signatures? What does that do?
Right, that's what I'm asking.
So what that does is that basically says that we got two people who we're saying are kosher Jews, and they signed on this document. So we got two kosher Jews saying this document is a valid document. When it says over here, we are attesting to, we are witnessing that the following thing took place. So what you got is, you got two kosher witnesses saying that this star is a valid star. So who's going to win the argument over here? Two valid witnesses saying the star is a good star, and the chayiv, the lova that doesn't like the fact that there's a star, a valid star, and so he's jumping up and down and he's saying that the star is a forgery. Who's going to win that argument?
Well, when we authenticate their signatures, are we authenticating that the witnesses say that the lova was present?
That when witnesses write their names on a star, what they are saying is that we are certifying the fact that everything that it says in this star is good, is kosher. And so if it says on this star that the lender lent $1,000 to the borrower. So that's two witnesses is saying that we saw that this thing happened. And therefore, we accordingly, we affixed our signature to this document, which says that that's what happened.
So they saw that the lender gave the money to the borrower.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that seems pretty conclusive then.
Right. So that's Rashi's question.
Okay. Kevan Shenafal Hisra. What's this word? Hisra.
Israel. So this Israel, since this document, right, it fell, meaning we found it in the street. So what does that say about the shtar? Israel. That discredits it, says Rashi.
The Amrinan Mipnei Shepusel. And we say that it's invalid. It is invalid. Lo Nizaher, don't return it.
Oh, Vamrinan, and we the Bezdin say, Mipnei shepasul, on account of the fact that this shtar was puzzle, it was not a valid shtar. It was puzzle. Lo nizhar, he was not careful with the shtar. He, the one that was holding on to the shtar, was not careful with it.
Are we saying that just because he wasn't careful, it's a puzzle star? I wanted to ask if it was deemed puzzle, not valid, when it once it fell out of the owner's possession. That before that, while the owner had it, it was valid, and it just became valid because he lost it.
Oh, so you're saying
it became invalid?
Isn't it possible that people lose things?
Sorry, say that again. I didn't hear you.
You're basically asking, Roy, isn't it possible that people can lose things that are valuable?
No, I'm not asking that. I'm asking, it is the fact that he lost it at that point that he lost it, does that make it, or that it was found, does that make it invalid?
Yes.
But before that, it was valid.
Yes.
Well,
that doesn't make sense to me.
Why not?
Sure.
What?
Why not?
Because what we're saying is that he was careless with it because it was invalid. It was invalid already. That's why he was careless.
All right, so if he was, but it's not possible to genuinely lose.
Oh, now you're asking the question I was saying. Don't we know of stories where people lose things that are valuable?
Yes, well, I do.
So
we lost some rings. So at the point that we lost them, they're no longer valuable.
So maybe we could say a difference between a ring or jewelry and a loan document. What's the difference, if you think for a second, between a ring and jewelry and a loan document?
Well, a ring or a jewelry has got definite value at a certain value.
No, I'm not talking about the value. What do you do with a loan document, and what do you do with a ring or jewelry?
Well, the loan document is just a piece of paper that is used to prove something. You can't do anything with it.
Well, I'll tell you what you do with it.
What?
You put it in your safe box, right?
If you have a safe box, yes.
Well, you put it in a safe place, right?
Right.
You don't wear it. You don't parade around the streets with it. You don't
True.
go to a chasna with it.
True. But
So it's not going to get lost.
because I was taking it to somebody to give it to him because he was going to look over it to make sure that it was all kosher.
Okay,
Or-
that's one
or-
time.
Yes. So I happened to lose
But
it.
the jewelry, if you buy jewelry, the reason you buy jewelry is because you like to wear it.
Mm.
Although some people are crazy, they don't wear it. They keep it in the safe box also. They treat it like a loan document. But we're not getting into that.
I don't know. Okay.
So-
then.
so what
Right.
I'm-
I'll withdraw. I'll withdraw. I'll go.
So what I'm saying is that a loan document that gets lost is very questionable. Whereas jewelry that gets lost, yeah, jewelry could get lost because you wear it. You go out with it. It's not put in the safe box.
Look, I've lost things at home, and they're valuable pieces of paper. I've found them sometimes.
What is your scenario, Rabbi, whereby he loses the document because it's not, he doesn't consider it to be valid? Why does that mean he loses it?
I mean, he should just throw it away.
No,
He did. He threw it away.
I mean, he's not going to treat it any differently because it's discredited. Then he's going to treat it otherwise. He's not going to parade it around like jewelry because he thinks it's discredited. He's going to still put it in his safe box. He's either going to throw it out or he's going to put it in a safe box. What else is he going to do with it?
The trouble with human behavior is that different people behave in different ways. And I think it's a bit difficult to put a generalization on what you think might happen.
But isn't that what in fact we're doing? We're saying that because it is discredited, therefore he's going to lose it. And
Right.
I ask, why do you say that?
Because like this, if there's no reason to keep it in the safe box because it's no good. So what's he going to do with it? He's going to say to himself, what am I going to do with this useless piece of paper? He says, oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to write my groceries on it. Okay, so he takes his wife tells him all the groceries they need to buy over there, and he puts it in his pocket. Then he takes it to the Makolit, and then he's looking over there, and then when he's finished with it, he just throws it on the floor, right?
And you should be up for littering.
That's an old question. Why is people's homes immaculate and spick and span, and outside it's just the opposite? I don't know the answer to that question. It's a different culture.
So, all right.
Okay, but that's what Rashi's saying over here. So in other words, Rashi's even saying something even more amazing than what you're amazed by. Rashi, if you carefully read what Rashi's saying that even if this guy is going to authenticate the signatures, Rashi says, if you'll say, well, let the guy authenticate the signatures. Rashi says, oh, but since it fell, it's a discredited document. That implies that even if he would bring witnesses that would say, yeah, that's Plony's signature, yeah, that's Almoni's signature, we'll still say this document is no good because it fell. And what about Plony and Almoni? They must be liars. I would have thought, okay, we have a presumption that it's no good, but if witnesses come along and they say that it was good, but now look, is the reason what, in other words, what's the reason why this document is no good? It could be it could be they signed properly, but what's the reason why the document is puzzle? We have to remember why the document is puzzle, in spite of the fact that that the lender can produce signatures that that it was good. What type, in other words, what type of invalidation are we talking about over here?
We're talking about forgery.
Well, that's what the guy is saying, right? He's saying that it wasn't ever, it wasn't. I never wrote it. I never wrote it. Yeah. So but then the problem with that is if it's just his word against these two guys, then these people are kosher witnesses. They should be able to establish that this star is a valid star with their authentication of the signatures. But Rashi is saying that no, because of the fact that the thing fell and somebody found it in the street, that puts such a invalidating stamp on this document that it's no good.
Okay, I lost it in the street, so it's no longer valid. Oh, here it is. I've just found it. Is it valid again?
Well, now you're holding it.
Yes, is it valid again?
When it's
It's resumed its validation. But if somebody else finds it, it's not valid.
It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Why not?
Because nothing changed. When he found it, nothing changed about the document. That didn't become valid all of a sudden. If it was invalid, it was invalid. It stays invalid.
Yeah,
The
but
only thing you can say, well, the only thing
you're making a question that makes it sound like it's nonsensical. But the example that you're giving is a nonsensical example, if I may say so.
No, you may not.
It doesn't really prove anything. In other words,
What it could.
it just proves that the guy was lucky. It doesn't prove that he wasn't careless.
And so the person.
And why did he pick it up then? If why all that proves is that all that proves is, like you're saying, that he didn't really mean to be careless. It proves that he did not mean to be careless when he lost it. He wasn't. He just that's what happens sometimes. He had to take it to somebody to have it examined for whatever reason, or I don't know what. And he lost it, and then he was, oh, what am I going to do? So he runs around the block 3,000 times, and he finds it. So you see that the person was not careless with the star. So actually, the din is good, according to what Rashi is saying. It is a valid star because we don't really see the fact. We don't really see that he didn't care about it, and he was careless with it. We just see that he was very interested to make sure that he had it, but for some reason it fell from him.
So he fell from him, and he goes around 3,001 times, and he still doesn't find it.
Okay, now, so therefore what? So what should we do?
Therefore, the star is invalid. But it would have been valid because he really wants it. He's demonstrating he wants it. He didn't mean to lose it. He lost it in the true sense of the word. He didn't discard it. There's one thing to discard it. If he discarded it, that is, he just threw it down on the street, aside from littering, he's finished with it. That's it. But if he's wandering, if he's in the street and it falls from his pocket, and or his hand or whatever, and he realizes he's lost it. That's completely different. It's still he hasn't changed its status aside from being on his person. He still wants it.
Okay, so let him tell that to the judge.
I'm asking you. No?
I think there's a
I think the what Rashi is saying is very clear and very logical. And all these crazy cases that we're talking about don't disprove what Rashi is saying.
I think there's an error in the way we're understanding what Rashi is saying. I think that Rashi is not saying that because it was lost, it was therefore invalid. He's saying because it's lost, we're afraid that maybe it was invalid. Therefore, we don't want to return it, because if it was invalid, then there's going to be an injustice.
Okay, so you're changing. We're not. You're saying we're not prophets. We don't know that he wasn't careful, but the circumstances look awfully clear that he was not very careful, and that indicates that he understood that the document was worthless.
Can you please?
And therefore, we're not going to give it. We're not going to. Therefore, we're not going to give it back to him because like that, he might use a worthless document against somebody, and that wouldn't be good.
Can you please read what Rashi says again, please, in English for me, as close as you possibly can. I'm sorry that I don't understand it, Rick. It's really just bothers and annoys me.
Okay. Why not? Rashi says, Rashi is explaining what is it that he's not moded to. This one who we're saying is obligated. He's not moded to the fact that the shtar was written. He's claiming that it was a forgery. Okay, so in that case, that's the case that we are saying we're not going to give it back to the would-be lender
because
we don't know that because this guy is he's saying that it wasn't a proper. He's saying that it wasn't the proper document. He never wrote this document, and the whole thing is a forgery. He's saying that he doesn't owe the guy any money at all. And not only is he saying that he doesn't owe him any money because he already paid it up, he's saying that there was never a loan. And this document that he's pulling out on me is a forgery. Right? So Rashi's saying, why is it that we are going with the claim of this guy? Why don't we just allow the malva to authenticate the documents? How's he going to authenticate the document? He's going to get people to come in and authenticate the signatures and say, yes, that's a valid signature. It's my signature, or I know this person. I know that that's his signature. So then we know we have two valid signatures on a document, and that's a document that the malva. We know that there was a loan now. Now we know that there was a loan because this makes this document a valid document. That's Rashi's question. Rashi answers that we say that no, that's not going to work. That's not going to make this document into a valid document because this document has a big has a big puzzle stamp on it because it fell. It fell in the street, and that raises and Lewis explaining that Rashi doesn't mean to say that we know for a fact that the guy
Was careless.
was careless. But all Rashi means to say is that it raises a very strong circumstantial evidence that it's no good, and that's the reason why he wasn't careful with it. He didn't keep it in his safe box, and that's why it fell in the street.
But I don't
And then
understand.
Rashi, and then the last three words actually, which we didn't read yet. Therefore, we are umehimninan le lahai, and accordingly, we will therefore accept the claim of the chayiv that he says that it's a forgery.
I don't understand. If we established that the Malva brought the witnesses to authenticate the signatures, therefore we established that this is not a forgery.
Okay, so that's the question that we had. What could be the explanation of the situation over here? What are we saying about the fact that he brought in witnesses and authenticated the signatures? Why doesn't that prove to us that this document is okay?
We could probably say we could think of it as if it was no good, or as if it was a forgery. We can put it into, we can say that, but we can't really say it is no good. It is because or it is a forgery because it wasn't before, as far as we know, and it's not now. Nothing has changed physically to it. Nothing.
The question is like this. What are we saying about these two witnesses that authenticated the document? How do we bat a blind eye to the fact that they authenticated the document? Why is what is, in other words, what are we saying by the fact that we found it in the street? What are we saying about that now we're assuming that the document is puzzle? In other words, it must be that we're saying, notwithstanding the fact that these two witnesses have come in and so to speak, authenticated the signatures. So the two signatures are, I don't know. It needs explanation. Needs explanation.
We're accepting their witnesses to the veracity of the signatures is they're true. We're saying that's fine. We're saying that yes, the authentication process is correct. It's okay. It's true. All right.
Time is up.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see. Well, Phil wasn't here today. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay, all the best.
What a mess.
Well, I didn't make it.
You
I
didn't
think.
make the mess?
I deny making a mess.
I authenticate that you made the mess.
I'll throw the authentication onto the street. Okay.
at 10:04.
Okay, thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Reverend Davis.
Bye-bye, Roy.
Okay. All the best. Bye, Roy. Bye, Lou. Bye, Alan.
Alan,